Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I am taking on a 3-color challenge. So this video or this topic was suggested to me by Mariah Beth, whose Instagram I'll link below. You may have seen her name before on this channel because I have her watercolor palette she made in conjunction with Fine Liner Nerd, and I absolutely love that palette and should be using it more. But she had, I think in late December, had mentioned that she'd love to see me do a 3-color challenge, and I haven't done one in quite some time. I did one, maybe 3 years ago, and I only painted a really tiny bird, so I've never done a portrait with a 3-color challenge, and I wanted to give it a go. So generally speaking, I am not currently taking any more suggestions because I have video topics for many videos at this point now, but maybe in the future I'll put this out again. So for now, this is just a one-off thing, and if I have time, I'll talk more about future plans later. So yeah, when Mariah mentioned this to me, I was into the idea, but I was also kind of in like the chaotic pre-holiday rush, I think it was during the holidays. And so I, without thinking, was like, you pick the colors, I'll do it. Not thinking that watercolor collections can be very, very, very different. And in fact, all 3 colors that Mariah picked, I didn't have, or even the same pigment. So I felt pretty dumb, but I was able to make some substitutions that I think worked okay. So ultimately, she picked for the blue was cobalt. Cobalt is a very neutral blue. It's neither warm nor cool. So I have Schmincke's Phthalo blue, which the 15-1 version is not the red shade or green shade. It's the neutral one, so it's actually a pretty close match. It's not granulating, but I make up for that with the Potter's Pink, which is actually replacing Shell Pink. Now, Shell Pink is technically an orange. It's PO30. No, I don't remember what it is, but it's mixed with white, and it's a very unique color to the Holbein line, and I don't have it. So, oh well. The pink was interesting, though. Mariah did offer to redraw the color, but I thought the Potter's Pink would make a nice balance because it's also a paler shade, and I was curious what I can make happen with that. The green she picked was Terra Verte, which I technically have in their gouache, but I thought using gouache would overpower the watercolor and add too much opacity, so I kept it simple and just went with the Schmincke Permanent Green Olive, which I thought would be a fairly fair match for the color itself. Now, one thing I didn't think of is the properties of the watercolors themselves. So I know Phthalo blue is a very staining blue, and Permanent Green Olive isn't, I don't think, staining, but it has staying power. Potter's Pink is very, very, very pale, super granulating, and lifts very, very easily. So basically what this means is it wasn't really possible to get the darks I normally would try to incorporate in, and it very much reduced the value range of the overall piece. So I was thinking I could use the Potter's Pink to get some purples to do shadows, but it really wasn't doable, and I think you could see it in the swatches I made. I did kind of neutralize the blue and get something that appears purple, but it's very much, the pink has separated into its granulation, which is really cool texturally, but if you go back over that to either darken it or add more just layers, it will lift that pink right off and you'll be left with more of a blue. So this had some interesting challenges. I really made those swatches and went, wow, I have no idea what to do, and stared at that page for probably half an hour. Finally took my sketchbook into the other room, put on the TV, and eventually settled on a water ganassi. Now, I could also be pronouncing that wrong. I don't know if it's ganassi or janassi, but I think you've seen it a bit here before. I've recently been playing D&D over the past year. We're on hiatus, and while I'm on hiatus, I guess I'm sulking and getting into this new race. I don't think they're that new, but it's new to me because I've only read the like original player's handbook and nothing else. But I don't know why, but these little dudes have appealed to me recently, little fishy boys. I guess they are, I can't think, elementals. So they basically have like kind of elf-like ears, but they've got kind of fin shapes. So I like painting elf ears. I thought I'd like painting their little ear shapes, and that's really most of the thought that went into this. Otherwise, they have green blue skin. By that I mean green or blue or teal, probably. I have no idea what I'm talking about, as usual. And so it fit the color scheme. As for the hair, I don't know what colors their hair normally is. In some pictures I saw online, it was blue or green or teal. But just because the value range was so restricted in the skin itself, I wanted to make sure I was able to get some of it in the hair. So I kind of went with a white, just so I could play with different colors to add value and strands. So nothing that exciting there. It would have been really hard to try to go darker and still add some sort of detailing there. So yeah, once I realized I wasn't going to have much of a value range, I kind of almost felt relief because it gave me an easy out. I've been very, very busy lately, so this ended up only taking me about an hour to paint. I got to the point where I stopped and took a break and went, I really don't think I could do much without lifting the values I already have down, and decided to be lazy, I don't know, and move on to other tasks for the day. I've been really going kind of nonstop lately, and I had a bunch else to do. I'm hoping to finally take some time off tomorrow, so we'll see. In any case, what I've been busy with has actually been Justin Donaldson and Rachel Bradley's workshop, the Clarity Workshop, and I'm not going to talk about it too much now, maybe in a future video, but it's basically about finding clarity in your art. I've mentioned before I felt a little lost lately, and as you've seen, I can be very self-deprecating, and it's stuff I want to work on. I think part of my being overly critical of my art is I kind of go in without a plan, because I think I built such a strong habit of keeping up and painting consistently that I've hit that point where I stop kind of thinking about what I'm doing and I just paint something to kind of meet the habit. And I'm not really putting conscious thought into, this is what I want to be working toward, this is what I want to be doing, this is what I want to convey. So I'm kind of hurting myself in that regard. And then I think part of me still expects to be able to create something I'm really proud of without thinking through those things in advance. But instead I'm noodling, and then when it doesn't come out brilliant, I'm being too hard on myself. So I'm trying to get out of that rut because it's not a good place to be in. It's not healthy. And I'm hoping that through this workshop, I could kind of really start to focus in on where I want to go, and then really putting it out there, working hard to create something I'm proud of. So that is forthcoming. But yeah, this, just because it wasn't something overly, it's a challenge. You're not going to have your best art when you're doing a challenge, especially one that has restricted colors. And in this case, restricted values. And I should point out that yes, I could have gotten a really, really strong green. That is, you could see in the swatch cards above, the mass tone on the green itself is the darkest one, but it wouldn't have fit to put like a really green nostril or something in there. So that's kind of what I mean. Stylistically, you could kind of go wild, but I didn't want to be too outside where I consider my style to be. So had I done like green line work, it would have felt not me. Someone else also suggested going over it with like a fine liner, because I guess a lot of people do that. I've seen that in 3-color challenges before, where fine line inking, it doesn't count because that's part of their style. It's not really part of my style, so I thought it was kind of cheating, a cop-out, I don't know. So I kind of kept to what I would normally do, but with a different limited color set. So yeah, I did have a lot of fun with this. And And I do appreciate Mariah for challenging me. I really did enjoy this little challenge. Beyond that, I don't have too much to say about it. And like I said, I have plenty of future plans. I don't think I have that much time left in this video to talk about it. So I will save that discussion for later. Basically, I'll have another unboxing coming up soon. And then I'm going to try to do a skin tutorial because I've had that requested. But yeah, like I'll get into the specifics of that later and the order of things later. For now, I hope you're all having wow, it's February when I post this video. It will be February. So I hope you all had a wonderful start to your year, a great January, and things are going well. I don't know. I think I had more painting time than I thought I had left. I'm ready to like just sign out and be gone. I do have a clip of the cats. I don't know if I should say they're playing, they're fighting, they're doing something. So I still have that, but that's mostly because apparently some of you really want to see more cat content, so I'll try to include that when I remember. Yeah, I really have nothing else to say about the painting. I'll just move on. I'm still painting. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I'll talk a bit more because I have a little bit more time than I realized. So for the unboxing, I'll keep that a surprise for now. For the skin tutorial, I think I'm actually going to approach it as a couple videos. Basically do one video for kind of the background on how I develop my style, because I don't want to try to tell everyone this is how I paint and imply that that's how you should paint skin. So instead, I want to take the time to actually talk about what I taught myself and what I learned about both watercolor and color theory and skin in general to help inform the way I paint. So I thought I'd do one video focusing on that part of it, and then the second video where I'll go through actually painting skin in the way I normally do it and talk through it and show kind of where I'm applying those things. It's something I've been starting to think about, but I haven't actually like written down anything. So I still have quite a bit of work left there to do. But yeah, I think it will be interesting, and maybe somewhere down the line, I'll look back on that and be like, wow, I really need to revise this. This is really outdated, and it'll give me content for the future too. Who knows? So otherwise, that's all I had for that. Here are the girls. It has been really cold lately for Florida, and the house stays really cold. The background noise you're probably going to hear is the washing machine. Sorry about that. But it's like, I think this morning it was 61 degrees in the house. We didn't run the heat because we try to save money where we can. And this is an electric pad with a towel on top of it, and they absolutely both love it, but it really is Maggie's. So Maggie is indecisive about whether she's cleaning Juno or attacking her. She's not very nice, but she really is my baby, so I love her anyway. Poor Juno. But yeah, that's all I had. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you in a future video. Take care. Bye.
You're so mean.